Hi, thank you for participating in the unsheltered portion of the 2021 point-in-time count. This video is to help you understand how to download and use the Survey123 app to collect and submit observations and surveys on individuals and families experiencing unsheltered homelessness in your community. To get started, you'll just need to click on the link provided by your local PIT lead. This link will give you the option to either open the survey in a web browser or within the Survey123 app. We are encouraging everyone to download and use the Survey123 app, as it allows for better data collection from the place you're actually counting those individuals and families, rather than needing to bring back paper or other materials to a desktop and submit it using a browser. If you already have the Survey123 app on your phone or tablet, you can just click that Open in the Survey123 Field App button. Otherwise, click the button at the bottom that will take you into your device's app store and will take you directly to the Survey123 app that we will be using. You can also choose to go into your app store directly and search on Survey123, but going through that link will make sure that you get at the right app and don't accidentally end up with the wrong thing on your device. Once Survey123 has been downloaded, you'll need to grant it a couple of permissions in order for it to work properly. This gives it access to files on your device, as well as the ability to take pictures and record video. You won't be taking pictures or recording video as part of this particular point-in-time count, but both of these permissions are important for the app to work properly. Survey123 will not be taking anything off of your phone and sending it to either Esri or to the Utah Homeless Service System, but instead what this will allow you to do is to store local copies of the data you are submitting as a backup, or in case you don't have internet connection from the place that you're actually doing the counting. Once you've given those permissions, you will come to this sign-in screen. It's important to remember that you do not need any credentials or to log into ArcGIS online in order to use the app for the point-in-time count. So instead of choosing Sign In or Manage Connections, you'll always select Continue without signing in at the bottom of the screen. Once you do that the first time, you'll be asked to allow the app to have access to the device's location. And you can do that all the time or just while you're using the app. This enables us to get a better feel for where we're actually finding people experiencing unsheltered homelessness through our point-in-time count efforts. Now that Survey123 is completely set up on our device, we can go back to that link and choose Open in the Survey123 Field App. And this will actually download the questions and submission criteria that we will be using for the 2021 unsheltered count. The first time you do that, it will automatically launch you into a data collection screen like you see here. And you can either immediately jump into collecting and submitting information, but I would encourage you instead to download this ahead of time and get it ready on your device so you're good to go when you begin your point-in-time count efforts. Within a data collection screen like this, you can always choose to go back to previous menus by clicking the X at the top left-hand corner of the screen. And you can either save what you've done so far as a draft, close it and discard what you've done, or continue if you did that on accident. Once we've closed out of this, it'll bring us back to kind of a home screen that has a thumbnail that you will click on in the future whenever you want to collect information for the point in time. This is the same screen that you will see after the first time you've downloaded it, whenever you click this Continue without signing in button on that login screen. When you select the thumbnail, you'll be brought to this home menu screen, which will have a variety of different options available to you depending on how many surveys you've completed, are in the middle of completing, or if you haven't done any of them like we have. Since we haven't done one yet, we only have this collect option, and clicking that will launch that data collection screen for us to complete either a survey or an observation. If you are participating in the point in time count in Salt Lake County with the Salt Lake Valley Coalition to End Homelessness, you will only be doing observations this year. So instead of doing any sort of survey, you will simply be counting the number of people in a location and submitting that through the app. We'll show you how that's done first, and then we will jump into the survey portion that will be used in other places. So to complete an observation, you will enter in your name, the county that you're doing the observation in, your location will pull in from your device, and then you'll select No to Are You Completing the Short Survey. You'll then get this reminder text saying that you will simply need to enter in the number of people that you are observing experiencing unsheltered homelessness, and that there will be a box for you to provide a description as well. There's also a reminder that in order to prevent the accidental spread of COVID-19, the Salt Lake Valley Coalition has asked that people remain in their vehicle whenever possible while conducting observations. And regardless of whether you're in your vehicle, we would ask you to not interact with these individuals that you are counting in order to prevent any accidental spread of COVID-19. So you just come down to the first box, enter the number of people that you see experiencing unsheltered homelessness, and then you can enter any comments or descriptions that you may have that you think would be helpful for homeless service providers. So for example, I'll say that these 3 individuals were all adults and they were sleeping in a bus stop. We're now completely done collecting all the information we need for our observation, so we'll click this check mark at the bottom, and we'll have the option to either send that in now for processing, continue with the survey if we click that on accident, or save it to our outbox. Most of the time you're going to want to click that Send Now option, but if you don't have a good data connection, you can use that Save to Outbox option and submit it once you're back someplace with better internet access. Once we've done that, you'll see back here on this home menu screen, we now have both the collect and the sent folders. And within that sent folder, you can see that submission we just made. Now I'm going to walk you through how to do the short survey that is being used in all other counties in Utah other than Salt Lake. Again, the survey date will automatically populate. You'll enter in your name, the county that you are counting individuals in. Your location will pull in from your device. And this time you will say you are completing the short survey. The first thing that you'll need to ask them is if they have already been surveyed by another volunteer. If they have, you're done. We don't need to ask them these questions again. But if they haven't been surveyed, you will then get this little help text that we would encourage you to read and stay pretty close to so that you clearly explain to that individual what you're doing, why you're collecting this information, and what they're consenting to by participating. You'll then ask the individual the series of questions that follow that text. So, what is their name? What is their date of birth? If they don't want to provide their date of birth, there is an option for you to put in information on the age range they fall into. This data will be used along with their name and date of birth if it's provided in order to deduplicate and make sure that we're not counting the same person twice, since we will be using these short surveys over a number of days. Next, you'll be prompted to ask them, where did you spend the night of Wednesday, January 27th? That night, Wednesday, January 27th to Thursday, January 28th, is our night for the point-in-time count. So regardless of when you're completing this survey, you will always ask the person, where were you sleeping the night of Wednesday, January 27th? There are only two options here, either place not meant for human habitation or another location. Only people who are staying in a place not meant for human habitation, which means on the streets, camping, in their cars, in an abandoned building, or any other place not really designed to be lived in or slept in by humans, are considered part of the unsheltered count and are considered to have experienced unsheltered homelessness the night of the count. So make sure that you're being clear and that they understand that you just want to know where they were sleeping that night and record it in the proper category so that we make sure they are counted appropriately. The next question is COVID-19 the reason for your homelessness? This is the one piece of follow-up information we're collecting so that we can better understand how the pandemic is affecting individuals and families experiencing homelessness in our community, but specifically those that are without shelter. Once you've completed these surveys for that individual, you have the option to go through those questions again for other individuals who are in that same location without having to go through and enter the location and your name and those other pieces again. So if there's another person there, you'll click yes to is there another person you are surveying. Click on the plus sign and you'll enter in the responses for the next person that you find at that location. And you can do that as many times as you need by pressing this plus button at the bottom, and it will pull up those questions again until you've completed the short survey with every person at that location. If you accidentally hit that plus sign but you don't need to survey another person, you can click this little trash can next to it and it will clear out just those latest set of questions while keeping the other pieces of data that you've already collected from individuals in that location. Once you've completed the survey with everyone in that place, click the check mark, and you'll have those same options to send now or save to the outbox. So for this, I'll show you how that outbox works. By clicking Save in Outbox, when you come back to this main home menu screen, you'll see that there's now an outbox option. And when you click on that, you have the option to come back in, edit that information, and submit it. Now you'll see it's gone from our outbox into our sent folder, and we know it's been sent back for processing. Once you are done participating in the point-in-time count, the last thing we're going to ask you to do is come back into the sent folder and delete the surveys that are within that folder. You may want to check with your local point-in-time lead first, make sure those did in fact get sent and were collected. But once that has all been taken care of, we want to go ahead and delete this off of your phone so that we're not keeping any personal and identifiable information on the people that you counted on your device. Select empty, and you'll see now that sent folder is gone. All of that local information has been deleted, and there will be nothing left on your device. That's all there is to it. It should be pretty simple and straightforward for you. But if you have any questions, we do have help and support available. Please start by reaching out to your local point-in-time count lead, and they can help answer questions and provide support. And if they're unable to give you the help that you need, they can connect you with others who can help walk you through and find a solution to the problem that you're seeing. Thank you again for being willing to participate in this unsheltered count, and we hope that you have a great experience.